if you cook and you're going to cook for everyone, then cook for everyone. You can't just cook for yourself. Saying that I fend for myself doesn't mean that that doesn't say that's not taking, you're not giving time back to me because you can fend for yourself because I still have to eat. And then sometimes there's another person here that has to eat as well. So you fending for yourself doesn't give me back any time. If you want to give me back time, you have to take over the whole thing.
Hey, how you doing? How your family doing? How your dog doing? How your cousin, your auntie? How they doing? You doing all right? That's cool. That's fun. My name is Ashton Jazelle, and I go by Jazelle.
My name is Rikita Michelle, and welcome back to our mother-daughter podcast. Who are you talking to? Correct. Why that face? What is wrong?
So,
what's been going on? Like it's here. What's been going on with you catching up? What's this week's tea?
Nothing. Oh, what? About my design for the team. It's the design is not going to be exactly what I sent him because like it's going to have like the wording and everything on it is going to be the same, but like the white going into the blue, he said that's not going to be a thing because it'll get dirty easily, and he said that he would do that for outdoor season and not indoor season.
Well, wait, that doesn't make sense.
Ask him, not me.
Because indoor, you get more dirty outdoor than you do indoor, obviously. Because you're outside
Ask him, not me.
In the elements. What are you talking about?
Well, yeah. He was like, should we change the color of the uniform? Well, he said, should we change the color of like the jackets? Because they're going to be gray. And gray gets dirty easily. And then I'm like, no. Shouldn't. No.
Gray does not get dirty easily.
For high schoolers, I think we know what we're doing with our clothes, you know?
Or you can.
And the same with white. If white was on the uniform, then.
So is it going to be gray go into gray? Is it going to be fading or is it just going to be plain?
No, not the one that I designed. I'm talking about like a jacket, like a zip-up jacket. With no.
Whatever you designed, is it going to be fading? Is it going to be one color fading into another?
No.
Why not? Is it something that Under Armour can't do?
Oh, they can.
Or
no, they can. I'll probably have to ask him.
What do you say it's gonna be? What do you say it's gonna be?
Like one color. Like they didn't even have like a white option. It was literally either like a navy blue or maroon. And I don't know what it is about him in this ugly maroon.
So navy blue and maroon are the colors for the actual track suit, the warm-ups?
Or the shirt that my design was going to be on.
So can it be navy fading into maroon?
That's ugly. Gross.
Is it?
1, 2. Yeah. So I chose the one with navy blue. That's just navy blue. Like, do better. Maybe I just need to have a talk with who's ever behind our uniforms at Under Armour, because they obviously don't know what they're doing with these boring, ugly, disgusting looking uniforms.
So, but the other teams at your school have uniforms that don't look as boring, right? In your opinion. So do they use Under Armour too? So yeah, it's not Under Armour, it's your coach.
The only school, well, we don't have the same people for every sport. You know what I mean?
No.
So there's someone that we use for Under Armour for track, and then there's someone that you use for the uniforms for basketball, and then there's someone that you use for the uniforms for football.
Right, but even the boys' uniform is better than even the boys' uniform looks better than y'all. Is it the same person that does the boys and the girls' track uniforms?
Oh, I don't know. I just know that Coach Swill is head coach of the boys for.
Yeah, so I'm saying I know, but I'm talking about who the Under Armour person is.
Oh, I don't know who they're.
So what I'm saying is I don't think the problem is Under Armour. You know what I'm saying? I think it's the coach who's making the final decision, because if every other team has better looking uniforms, then the weakest link would be the coach.
Yeah, yeah. And they're old. Probably why.
So
they have disgusting taste.
Okay.
They're just used to like the old way of having uniforms and warm-ups.
Yeah.
And also, not all the teams use Under Armour. There's one team that uses Nike, and that's our flag football team.
Oh, okay.
But I don't even know what our flag football uniforms look like. So.
Interesting.
Yeah. But all the other teams use Under Armour.
Interesting. So how's everything else going besides that?
Yeah, everything else is good.
Nothing exciting happening in your life?
No, not really. Started doing high jump and triple jump, but that's it.
How's your legs working out for you in the new season?
We're doing okay, I guess.
Which way you guess?
I mean, I have shin issues, so.
You always have shin issues, but I'm saying like how. Yeah. I'm saying are your jumps? Are you performing as well as you'd like in the practice jumps that you're doing currently?
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't do triple jump, but I did high jump. But yeah.
Okay. Well, then that's what's up. Then we'll see how the season goes. For me, nothing exciting happening for me either. I just finished my cleanse, and yesterday was the last day, so yay me. I lost about 5 pounds. I weighed myself on day 9. So it was 5 pounds then. I don't know what it is now, if it's changed at all. So yay for me. That's how that's going. Had some soup last night, had a smoothie and an apple during the day yesterday, then had soup for dinner. So that was really good and tasty. Homemade soup, sweet potato soup. And then today I've had a smoothie so far, but I plan on going out to dinner for night. I plan on going out to dinner tonight.
I don't know what you're gonna eat.
Right, I'm going out to dinner with Mister. So yeah, gonna have a salad pretty much. Probably have a salad with salmon on top or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So nothing too crazy. Yeah, that's it for me. What else has been going on for me? Yeah, no.
Yeah, no.
Nothing exciting. Nothing exciting. I plan on working out. I plan on starting to work out on Monday. Today's Saturday, so on Monday I do plan on starting to work out in the mornings before work, because doing it before work is the only time that I'll ever be able to do it and actually get it done consistently, because after work is never a thing. It's just not a thing. I'll be having too much to do after when work is done, or I'm like either just too tired or mentally drained, and it's just like at that point I don't even feel like it, you know. So going before work, I think it works best.
I recommend 4 a.m.
Absolutely not.
No, specifically in that hour, and here's why.
Absolutely
because
not.
4 a.m. is before the sun comes up, right? And before the sun comes up, when you look up, well, and the air is really good at 4 a.m. Like the air is amazing. I don't know why. Maybe because everyone's sleeping and like all the pollution in the air has not come yet. So the air is really crisp and amazing. And when you look up in the sky, you can see all the stars and everything, and all the constellations.
So,
sorry, I come in 4 a.m.
4 a.m. Yeah, no, not ever gonna happen in this lifetime. So what I'm probably gonna do is after I drop you off at school,
you can just go to sleep at like 10. Well, go to sleep at 9.
That's way too early. I get off at 6. And when I have to cook dinner for y'all, sometimes I don't get done.
Y'all, it's crazy. I'm not included in that.
Yes, you are.
I can cook dinner for myself.
Barely?
What you mean barely?
And what can you cook?
I can cook a lot of things in there.
No.
And if I don't know how to cook it, guess what you can do? Show me. And I got it from there.
No. Yeah. I'm talking about real food. No.
I can cook spaghetti. I can cook chicken. I can cook fish.
I've never seen you cook spaghetti or chicken.
I have cooked chicken. Did you forget about that whole entire thing?
When I showed you how to cook it?
No, you didn't show me. You cut up the thingies.
I cut up the thingies?
Oh, like the peppers and stuff.
Oh, yeah, I showed you. I told you step by step. Knowing how to cook means you're doing it with no assistance. I'm nowhere nearby. I don't tell you anything. It's all up here in your head.
So I can cook chicken.
No.
And fish.
No. I was
spaghetti.
I was standing there. No. I was standing there giving you the step-by-step instructions in there. Yeah. So that's not knowing how to do it. You're learning. Yeah.
Right. So yeah, I can fend for myself when it comes to food.
Everybody can fend for themselves, but I am, I'm usually the one who cooks dinner whenever everybody's eating the same thing. I'm the one who cooks for everyone. So it's just kind of like a thing. So if that's happening, then that takes up my time post work. And going to sleep at 9 o'clock is not a thing. Because I would also like to have some time to just relax and chill and unwind, you know what I'm saying, from the day. Enjoy, some of just life. And so, yeah.
Yeah.
So 4 a.m. is not working.
And I won't be the one taking that from you because I can cook.
Girl, please. When you cook, have you ever cooked for me or for the other people other than yourself? Exactly. So when I say cook,
that's a lie.
No,
I have cooked for you before. I don't do it on like the daily basis or nothing.
Right. So what I'm saying is, that's what I'm saying. The person, if somebody. if somebody is cooking not only for themselves but for the house, it's usually me. So yeah.
But me and you are not even on the same diet, so
exactly. So that means, what I do when people switch up their diet, I switch up my cooking. So this is what you would have to do if you want to take. No. I'm talking. No. I'm saying that if you would like to take on the responsibility of cooking, since you know how to cook, then you'd have to cook according to everyone's diet and cook for everyone who is currently in the house at the time. If you cook and you're going to cook for everyone, then cook for everyone. You can't just cook for yourself. Saying that I fend for myself doesn't mean that that's not taking, you're not giving time back to me because you can fend for yourself, because I still have to eat. And then sometimes there's another person here that has to eat as well. So you fending for yourself doesn't give me back any time. If you want to give me back time, you have to take over the whole thing. All right. So yeah, I'm not getting up at 4 a.m. to work out. It's not happening. And not going to sleep at 9 p.m. either. That's ridiculous, actually. Well, it's not ridiculous. It's just not. Hello. Hi. How are you? Why are you in another land right now? It's not ridiculous. It's just it just doesn't fit my lifestyle per se. Going to sleep at 9 p.m., I maybe could do 10, 11. 10ish 11, more so 11 is more so my speed. You know what I'm saying? And then, I have to get up to take you to school anyway at 6:30. So when I get up to take you to school, then when I get home, which is usually around 7, then I'll work out before I start work. So between 7 and 8 is a good window for me to work out.
Interesting.
Yeah. So that's what I'll be doing coming up. But okay, I think we can move on to like this little icebreaker situation that I want to talk about. This is a really interesting topic, right? It's we talked about it before briefly, but it's like, do we all see the colors the same?
Nobody knows. Nobody knows.
Right, but isn't that like a crazy concept to think about? Because I've tried to explain this to people before and they were like so confused about what I was saying. You know what I'm saying? Because they were like, well, of course you see it the same because this is orange and I know this is orange, so it's orange. Right? But they understand what I was saying, like me looking through my eyes, the color of an orange is orange. Obviously, because that's what I've been taught that color is. And you too, looking through your eyes, you've been taught that the color of the orange is orange. But how do we know we're seeing the same exact color? Maybe my orange is your green. You know what I'm saying? Maybe your orange looks to me, if I look through my eyes, will look green, will look like my green. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's just super like crazy to think about.
I feel like, I don't. I'm surprised that there's no way of finding out.
You said there's no way of finding out?
I said I'm surprised that there isn't.
Yeah, there'd have to be like some kind of a mechanism to see the world through another person's eyes, which is a whole other, it's giving Black Mirror, if you will.
So,
but I think that would be pretty cool, either cool or like a detriment to all of society, one or the other. So. But yeah, it's just something so super cool to think about because I'm like, man, I've been taught that grass is green. Mm-hmm. But maybe when you look at grass, to you, it looks like what I think red is. But you've been taught that is green.
Right.
And so I'm like, ooh, that's just a super interesting to think about. And I think it also lends to the fact that, like, do we see, like, our just perspective in general? Mm-hmm. Like, if we just take it outside of just colors, like perspective on how you view the world and your surroundings is all individualized per person. And so how another person views something or sees something through their lens, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You could be looking at the exact same thing that I'm looking at, but the way that we would describe it would be different because we're looking at it from different perspectives, different worldviews, different lenses. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So that's just like, I don't know. I think that's super interesting to think about. And I think people should think about that. Like,
I mean, we know how colorblind people see. So why wouldn't we know?
How do we know that though? How do we know that?
Because there are different types of colorblindness.
Right.
And we know how they view the world. Like, we know what colors and stuff that they
can see,
that they can and can't see,
depending on what kind of color blindness they have.
Yeah, because for some people, everything is one color. It's like
or black and white,
like a green.
Oh
no, that's not a thing.
Oh, it's not black and white. Seeing the world in black and white is not how it works. Okay. No.
Well, not for humans. I think it might work like that for dogs. Maybe, but for humans, they would like I think they would see everything in like a greenish tint. Mm-hmm. So you would be looking like an alien right now.
That's if they're completely colorblind, right?
Or just that type. I don't know.
Because I know, like my mother used to say that I think her mother or somebody child in our lineage was colorblind too. Like it was hard for them to tell the difference between reds and oranges or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of think I have that myself because I had this dress for the longest time that I thought was orange, and somebody told me that it was red, and I said, "This is red." And they're like, "Yeah, it's red, red." Like it's red, red. It's not like an in between, like a reddish orange. Like it's a red, red. And I thought it was orange all my life. So that was actually crazy to me. And I was like, wow, maybe it's hard for me to tell the difference between reds and oranges. Like that. So
I think these are the different types.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Maybe.
Okay.
There is a black and white
color blindness.
Yeah.
Could you imagine being completely blind?
No, can do that. Normal. So this is normal. That's, I don't know how to pronounce that. That's that kind. And there's this kind.
That's one you was talking about, probably.
I mean, they're both in a green tint. This one's just more of a warm green, and that's more of a cool green.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
And that's just black and white.
Yeah.
Did you know there are glasses for this?
No. That will correct it? No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so they made glasses that for people who are colorblind, it'll
correct their color blindness.
Yes, when they look through it.
Interesting.
Like that.
So it's kind of like, I wonder what makes people colorblind. Like, there has to be like some kind of missing, I don't know, cornea attribute.
Yeah, something. A lens is missing.
Something. Yes, I don't know, child. Don't give me the line. So anyway, that was just an interesting topic that I felt we should, talk about.
Yeah.
Next, we'll move on to our discussion topic. Huh?
Yes, let's do that.
All right. Our discussion topic is, should all drugs be legal? Why or why not? What are your thoughts?
Yeah.
So, why?
Because, I mean, people have the drugs anyways, right? Illegally. So would it really make a difference if it was to be legal?
I mean, it'll be more easily attainable and you won't get punished for attaining it.
Yeah, but even though weed is legal in some places, you can still get put in jail.
Not if it's illegal.
I just said even in places where it's legal, you can still get put in jail.
For what? For selling? For selling without a license, maybe?
I thought you can get put in jail for having like an excess amount of weed, like you can only have like a certain amount, or
I don't know. I don't know what the what do you call it? The rules, the laws, the specific stipulations. I don't know. I don't know if that's a thing. Like on certain amounts, I don't know why. Because I mean, if it's legal, then why not? If I want to have a whole bunch of weed versus a little bit, why does it matter if I am now?
Because then you might be part of a drug cartel.
Well, that's why I said selling it. Like if you're just using the weed, I don't think it's a problem. But if you're selling it, then that's a problem because in places where, well, it's a problem to them, to the state. Because if you're selling it, then it's not going through the proper channels. You know what I'm saying? Because the states where
the state's not getting money from it.
Exactly. they tax. I'm sure they have it. I'm sure they've taxed it and whatever they get money from it. And so so a lot of places where weed is legal, you have to go to specific places, dispensaries and such, to get the weed. And then those places
licensed people.
Yeah, exactly. So if you're just doing it underground under the table, then it's no bueno.
Yeah, but I think that's my take on it. I feel like it should be legal because people doing it anyways. Ain't never made no difference.
Yeah, I think. Well, what about even heroin, opioids? There's a lot of people dying from those, which is really just meth and a pill, right? I think so.
I don't.
Meth.
I don't know nothing about that. So I don't know nothing about that.
Cocaine.
Okay.
All of the hard drugs, if you will, that they call. You think that they should all be legal?
Man-made drugs. That's what me and my friends started calling them because
man-made. Okay.
Yeah, because like weed or shrooms, stuff like that is not man-made, which is probably why you can't die from it. But something like cocaine or meth is man-made.
I don't know. You sure you can't die from shrooms? You know what kind of shroom it is.
You can die from shrooms.
I don't know. There's different kinds of mushrooms. There's a misconception that because something is not man-made, because it's natural in the earth, that it won't harm you catastrophically. Mm-hmm. There are things in the wild that happen naturally that if you ingest, you will die. So just because something is natural doesn't mean that it's good for you, per se.
Well, I'm not saying that it's good or bad. Like weed, even though it's natural, it can still harm you because, depending on how you decide to intake it, right? Because if you're taking an edible, that's different from smoking a blunt.
Right.
Right. Because there's smoke going in your lungs. So that act itself is unhealthy.
It's harmful, the smoke of it all. Mm-hmm. And I don't feel like there's enough research. Maybe there is, or maybe I think there might be conflicting research on whether marijuana is harmful or not. The usage of it over time. I think because you can't die from it, that people really gloss over whether it can be harmful or not, like the effects that it has on your brain or whatever over time. I remember reading this article about what being high means, like what it does to your neurons or something it does in your brain. Something happens that gives you the high feeling. I don't see how that can be safe to do over and over and over and over again.
Right. So I'm not saying that marijuana does have some bad effects. I looked it up one time.
I know. Is it like memory loss or something?
Yeah. It's memory loss. I think that's the only thing that I saw. But
yeah, I just think disconnecting neurons in your brain over and over and over again for a lifetime can't be that good for you. And also it's there is also a misconception that weed is not addictive.
That's cap.
It is. The wake and bakers of the world, if you have to wake and bake, you're addicted. So sorry about it.
It doesn't make any sense. I know some people that have to take a few puffs per class.
Of weed?
Yeah.
What's happening? A blunt? Or is it like THC that's in a vape?
A blunt or pen. They call it a pen. But a blunt or pen. Pen.
They be smoking blunts in class?
I'm talking about during school hours, not in the classroom.
Oh, okay. I was so confused.
They might go outside or something.
Because you're saying 2 times during class. So you're saying 2 times during the school day. Oh, okay. Baby, because I was going to be concerned. Okay, continue.
But they might Yeah, they might be doing that. You know what I mean? Then they would claim they won't be like, they're not addicted.
Not addicted,
like
yeah.
But it's like, it's obvious.
Yes,
like,
you're
do
addicted.
you not realize what you're doing?
If you can't live life with your own thoughts in your brain without being high, you're addicted. You're addicted. And it's like just like any other addiction, it's a coping mechanism, and you should probably get it worked out. I don't know, therapy, something.
Yeah, and then it's like every 5 seconds, they be like, and at this point, they don't even be caring. Like, they just go into class and just ask somebody, do you have a pen? Do you have a pen?
They be asking other people for their pen so they can get high.
Yeah.
Yes, giving junkie.
Because they don't have theirs on them at that moment.
Right.
Maybe theirs ran out and they need to buy a new one.
Right.
I don't know.
And they can't go the rest of the day without it. Yeah. 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 So it's
just like, I don't know, maybe I should just record them so they can look at themselves and see how much of a fool they look. So it's embarrassing. So it is. It's just, I don't understand it. I don't get it.
Yeah. So I mean, that's just weed, right? And I do feel like weed should be legal because I mean, come on, who cares? Do what you're gonna do. Like, alcohol is legal, but of course, like you were saying earlier, the state is going to have to figure out a way to get their hands in the pot of the money that's made from weed before it can ever become legal. Nationwide, you know what I'm saying? Nationwide. He's on your side. Anyway, but for the other drugs, okay. I do, like, I don't feel like a person who's addicted to a drug, who's using a drug, should ever be like criminalized for it, because why? They're like, is that going to actually help them become unaddicted to it? Is it like what?
They'll be doing the same thing in prison. So
yeah, because they be having access to stuff in prison too. But it's like, what's the purpose? What's really the purpose? I kind of know the purpose is to criminalize folks that look like us for doing the drugs.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because people of all colors, all backgrounds, all economic levels do the drugs. But of course, we are the ones who get punished the most for doing the drugs, criminally, for doing the drugs. So nobody should ever be criminally charged for using drugs. That's dumb. Selling drugs, though, especially if it's a certain kind of drug. What's that new drug that's out there? Like, it's like so.
Nope.
You don't know about it?
No, I'm not.
It's like
I don't know anything about those things.
But everybody's been like, not raving about it, but like concerned about it, and they like sometimes with people, like with women, they say be careful if you like come to your car after you leave a store and there's like a piece of like tissue or paper towel on, like attached to your door handle. Don't touch it, because it could, like, even touching it can like harm you or something. I don't know if that's true.
The only like deadly drug that I know that you can like take it like one time and then like die is fentanyl.
That's what it is. That's the one that I'm talking about.
Oh.
Fentanyl.
That's not a recent. That's not like a recent thing.
It's recently become more widely. I know it's not a recent drug.
Oh,
like it wasn't just invented. Well, you're 16. By recent, I mean, yeah, like
for
the past. You. Yes,
for you.
Yes. So yeah, it's a recent, newly concernable.
Don't say recent.
Whatever. It is. It's like, it's something that's more talked about these days, and how things are things are laced. Why are you looking like that? Leave me alone.
Okay.
How things are laced with fentanyl and like
so I didn't know they could do that with fentanyl, because I thought fentanyl only came in one form, which was like crack cocaine, when people would like people would buy it and they would put fentanyl like in the powder and stuff like that. But I didn't know that you could.
Oh, in the cocaine?
Mm-hmm.
So crack cocaine is a rock.
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay, never mind. So just in the cocaine.
Let's look up forms.
Or can they put it in crack cocaine too?
Fentanyl? I don't know.
They probably can, because if you saying that you can
fentanyl?
It's fentanyl.
But it's NYL.
Fentanyl.
Fentanyl.
No, fentanyl.
Whatever.
But yeah, so like if you can get laced with fentanyl all these different types of ways, then they can probably put it in crack cocaine too. Yeah.
See? Yeah,
Fun
and
fact,
it can
I'm
be
not trying to like get arrested or like have the feds come for me or anything, but like through watching Snowfall, I actually know how to make crack cocaine now.
So
because I watched that TV show, and it was about a crack cocaine mini drug lord in LA.
So,
and he was teaching people how to make it to work for him, and now I know how to make it.
So that's great. Something we'd all love our kids to learn. So here, the common forms of fentanyl.
It's fentanyl. Just say fentanyl.
Fentanyl pharmaceutical.
Nobody says that.
Fentanyl pharmaceutical products are currently available in the following dosage forms: oral transmucosal lozenges, commonly referred to as fentanyl lollipops. I think this might be
lollipops is crazy.
I think this might be how it actually comes legally in legal forms. I don't know.
Wait, pause. Legal fentanyl?
Hold on. I think it's a thing.
So is it for like anxiety or something?
I don't know, but I'm sure the dosage, the
has
strength,
to be like 0.0002.
Yes.
Something, because there's
strength, the street fentanyl versus the pharmaceutical fentanyl, two different things.
Oh wait, never mind. I think I knew that.
And then there's effervescent buccal tablets. There's sublingual tablets. There's sublingual sprays. There's nasal sprays. There's patches. You know what I'm saying? So it can be in a lot of different forms. And so street fentanyl, I think, is obviously a lot stronger than the pharmaceutical kind. But I've heard there's like, you can do it like I don't know if you do a spray or something. Like if it's something like if you touch it, that it can harm you, like it'll burn your hand. I don't know. Listen, I don't want no parts.
It'll burn your skin or something.
Something. Or even like,
I thought it was if you smelled it, then you like pass out or something.
I think maybe, and then also because they said patches, right? So obviously it can be like absorbed into your skin. So if you touch it, it might have the same effect. You know what I'm saying? Which is wild. Yeah, I don't know if that needs to be legal.
What, fentanyl patches and stuff?
Well, obviously forms of it are legal, right?
So maybe if you touch that, then it wouldn't do anything,
right? But the street,
because it's a legal dosage.
Yeah, the street strength. You know what I'm saying? So there's always going to be. Let me just say this. I think there's always going to be, whether things are legal or not, there's always going to be street forms of it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like when something becomes regulated and legal to the masses, it's going to become regulated, and they're not going to allow you to legally sell certain strengths of certain drugs, right? So then there's always, I feel like, going to be the underground, dark side of the illegal stuff out there that you can't get anywhere else. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the dark web, if you will.
Yeah, I think that's always going to exist.
How do you get to the dark web? I don't know how that works.
Yeah, don't want to know. So yeah, that's interesting. I just thought about that because I was like, yes, make it. Because I was all for making things legal too, because users are going to use. You know what I'm saying? Addicts are going to addict. And the threat of like going to jail never caused the addict not to be an addict. So yeah, so I was all for legalization of drugs. And also like ramping up instead of criminalizing people, ramping up reform, not reform, but what do you call it? Rehabilitation.
Mm-hmm.
So having people go to rehab,
making it legal to like, so you like to the. I think what you were saying was a good idea. So people don't need to go to jail for being addicted to it, but like people need to go to jail for selling it.
yes.
Right.
Especially even if it is legal, right? If they're selling legal doses or forms of the thing, if everything's legal, right, and the regulatedness of it all is legal, then there, like I said, I feel like there's always going to be like the illegal side of it. You know what I'm saying? Where they're going to be selling more potent versions of whatever it is.
Right.
So I feel like that should still be illegal. The sellers of it, because it's dangerous. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, they put restrictions on dosages of things for a reason. So yeah, that's what I think.
Insane. I know that a lot of people have died from fentanyl, like on accident too. Like they didn't know that fentanyl was in their stuff, and they just died.
Yeah, it's actually crazy.
It is like a 50-50 thing with fentanyl.
Like whether you die or not?
Yeah.
Is that true? A lot of times with these new drugs,
I think so.
I tend to not believe the statistics that they say about like how deadly they can be, especially if they're trying to villainize people that look like me for using it, because they did the same with crack cocaine. So during the crack epidemic in the 80s, they did the same. It was this super, super potent drug, and you can die on the first try. And you know what I'm saying? Because they were trying to villainize the people who were most likely to use it, which were people that looked like me. And a lot of the claims that they were putting out there on major news sources was not true and is not true. But
yikes. Yeah. In 2022, fentanyl was responsible for 200 deaths a day.
Is that just in this country?
Over 250,000 of Americans. Yeah, in this country. 200 deaths a day.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah.
A 250,000 a year?
No, I wasn't finished reading. Oh. Over 250,000 of Americans have died from a fentanyl overdose since 2018.
Oh.
In 2022, 73,654 people died from a fentanyl overdose in the U.S., more than double the amount of deaths from 3 years prior in 2019. That didn't answer my question.
What was your question?
I want to look at like the 50-50 situation. Like, what should I ask?
I don't know. We don't have all day. No, we don't have all day. We don't have all day.
Yeah, this is just talking about out of overdose. Like the amount of people that died from overdose. Which is like 70 to 90%. So.
Okay. Yeah. So I don't know. I guess that's just where I am with the legal or not legal. I think that they should be legal. Certain dosages of them should be legalized. I feel like all users should be decriminalized, period, across the board. Whether they're legal or not, whether the drug is legal or not, the user should be decriminalized. And yeah. So whenever, and they need to ramp up the rehabilitation of said users, putting them in rehabilitation programs. And whenever things do become legal, if because this country, if things do become legal, then the underground is going to exist. So that's just still going to be a thing. But the sellers of those things should be penalized in those instances. So yeah, ready to move on?
Yes.
What are you watching?
I'm watching this show called Lupin.
Lupin?
Lupin.
Okay.
It's not a W, it's Lupin.
Okay.
You said Lupin. It's not Hua, it's Lupin.
Okay.
So it's spelled Lupin.
Lupin. Oh, I've seen that on there. Lupin. I've seen it on Netflix.
Lupin.
I've seen Lupin on Netflix.
It's French, so it's not actually pronounced like that. It's Lupin. And it's a French.
Nobody's saying Lupin.
Yeah. If you watch the show.
Well, I'm not saying on the show. Nobody in real life in America who talks about the show in real life is saying Lupin.
Yeah. If you watch the show, then you would pronounce it like they do.
Okay.
So, Lupin is a book based off of this like thief. It's a fictional book based off of this thief, a very good thief, and it's like a book series and stuff like that. So there's this person named Hassan Diop, and he's like a burglar or like a professional burglar, and his methods and stuff like that to like stealing like famous and really expensive things all over France is based off of that book series because he was like a big fan of it growing up.
So he's a thief. Like he steal like things from like museums and things like that. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So he's a high stakes thief.
Very much so.
Oh, okay.
And he uses the strategies from the book to do so.
Interesting. I didn't know. Who plays in that? Is it Idris Elba?
Absolutely not.
Okay. Who is it? Is it based
French.
in UK? Oh.
It's based in France.
Oh. So.
And everybody's French.
Got it.
The show's not in English.
Oh, yeah.
It's a French show.
So you just read the subtitles.
Yeah. Or like just have like the English
dub. They dubbed it in English so that the voices are in English too?
Yeah.
Okay, because maybe...
If you want to.
What I'm not going to do is read the entire show. You done with that? Can I talk about?
Yeah.
Okay.
Omar Sy. Who plays the grown Hassan. And then the young Hassan is... I'm not pronouncing that name.
Okay. Cool. So what about, because I just recently rewatched Get Out for the first time. You just watched it, right?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about it? Your first time watching Get Out?
It was weird. It wasn't that scary, but it was weird. I was expecting it to be more scary than it was. Yeah, just really weird and eerie and just like off-putting and uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
On my second watch, I was able to...
Who is stomping like fee-fi-fo? What's going on?
Our upstairs neighbors. I was able to catch things that I didn't catch before. I remember people saying that back when it first came out. Like they said, oh, watch it again. You should watch it like a second or a third time because you can catch things that you didn't catch before. But I just never watched it again. I watched it again this time and I was like, oh my God, like how blatant that family was with actually saying the things that they were doing without saying it. And then him not catching up on it because he didn't know what was going on. It was kind of crazy.
I mean, if you didn't catch on the first time watching, then why would he?
Well, I know yes, I know, but I'm just saying watching it a second time, it's crazy that now that you know what the deal is, just watching him going through it and you're like, no, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You want him to be, like you said, you want him to be smarter, but it's like, how? He didn't know.
Right.
Yeah, people, giving people the benefit of the doubt. One thing in particular that I didn't catch, I want to talk about in the first one. This is really kind of something small, but it was,
how you remember that guy that got kidnapped?
In the beginning?
Yeah. Who was he supposed to be?
He was the guy with the hat that said "Get out."
But who was in his body? That's what I was asking. Like
that woman's husband who he was with at the party.
Right, but I was just like wondering like specifically like what family member that was. So that was just like a distant family member?
No, you remember when they had the party or the auction?
Mm-hmm.
Well, all the people came, right? And those weren't all family members. Those were just random rich white people who want to like get their, loved ones into the bodies of black people. So that old white woman that was there with the guy that got kidnapped, yeah, he was kidnapped because her husband wanted to continue living and they put him into his body.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't a family
so
member.
When the Flash.
Yeah.
So the Flash snaps them out of it. I don't know how that works.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, me either. Something that I caught the second time around, the groundskeeper who was actually the granddad, he was running at full speed. The first time I watched it, I was like, what is going on? Like, why does he just keep running at full speed for absolutely no reason? But but on the second watch, I think it was when the father was giving Daniel Kaluuya a tour of the house, he like showed him a picture of his father on the wall. It's like, hey, this is my father. He
track star.
Yeah, he was a track star. You know what I'm saying?
1936 Olympics.
Is that the year?
That's the year Jesse Owens ran.
Yeah, so he said he lost to Jesse Owens, and I actually don't know if his dad was in the Olympics. I think he said something like Jesse Owens beat him out to be the one to go to the Olympics or something like that. And he never got over it. And he was like, you know what I'm saying? So
he said something about Hitler. So yeah, it was in the 1936.
So yes. So his dad was real salty that he lost to a black man. Mm-hmm. And which also lends to the fact why he was so gung-ho and was ready to be inside of a black body so that he could run all day, every day. Because, he got beat by a black man. And of course, if he got beat by a black man, and the black man had to have like superpowers or something, right? So,
right.
So yeah, I thought that was super interesting because I didn't catch that the first time. Also, something I've been watching. Got anything else to say about Get Out? No. Did you watch Us?
Mm-hmm.
What you think about Us?
I've already watched it before.
Oh, okay. It wasn't your first time,
right?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I watched Us. Rewatched Us again too, and it wasn't like Get Out in the way that you catch things on the second time around. Not like that. You know what I'm saying? But anyway.
Yeah.
The Strangers. I watched that last night. It's like a horror slasher film about this couple that's in this house in the middle of nowhere. And then these people that show up at their house and terrorize them and kill them. Great movie, by the way. If you like suspense, it's great. The suspense is great. It's awesome. You know what I'm saying? It's very gory. So if you don't like that, don't watch. And yeah, the interesting thing that I want to bring out about this movie is that at the beginning, it said this is based on true events. And I'm always skeptical about when movies say that. I'm like, yeah, right. But at the end, I was like, let me do my Googles, my due diligence about if this is really a true story. And so I looked it up and they said that the person who wrote the movie loosely based the murders on the Manson murders or like the Tate murders. Charles Manson. He was a cult leader, murderer, person way back in the
it was 60s. And he killed like upcoming celebrities. Like that was his like most famous kills.
Yes.
Well, they were.
He didn't kill all of them, but he had people, either him or members of his cult. And so yeah, I looked up some of those murders that happened from him and his cult, and yeah, there were some odd similarities that happened between those. I was like, oh, wow, this is crazy. So this is something that actually could happen, which lends me to the fact that, when I think about these things, I'm like, this is something that could actually happen in real life, right?
He looks terrible. Okay, go ahead.
do I need to change the way that I'm living? Like,
what do you mean?
because this is something that could happen in real life because people are actually deranged enough to just go to a stranger's house that they don't know and just kill everyone inside for no reason. So I don't know. Like this makes me want to get like a panic room,
But our doors are locked and we have cameras.
Like an extreme amount of security. Huh?
It's a lot harder to go inside
of
an apartment.
Yes, but I'm saying one day, I might move into a house.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And so those are easier to infiltrate.
Having a lot of security doesn't necessarily mean that you're safe.
I know, but it makes you feel safer. And especially like for this movie, the people like they were at his father's house in the middle of nowhere, and the house wasn't that nice. And this is supposed to be like post-proposal, like a post-proposal things with rose petals, and then the house was just kind of like run down, and I don't know. It wasn't giving. She said no to the proposal, by the way.
That's great.
That was a spoiler. Spoiler alert. If you don't know by now, you should know. Spoiler. Yeah. So it was crazy. They were doing things that didn't make sense, obviously. The way that they terrorized them people, and they were coming in and out of that house and they didn't even realize it at first.
What is going on?
It was actually crazy, and y'all should watch it because it's spooky season. Halloween is near. Y'all should watch it. It's called The Strangers, and I think there's a part 2 out of that. And the fact that something similar happened in real life to people in Hollywood is absolutely crazy. You know what I found out while reading up on this?
What?
One of the murders that happened of like the Tate lady. Her last name is Tate. I don't remember her first name, but she was like the one that was like the most famous out of the people in the house, that all of them were murdered. Quincy Jones was supposed to be there that night.
You're talking about out of the house that he murdered people in?
Yes, that first house that they went to that night was like 5 people or something there, and they murdered all of them. Quincy Jones was supposed to be there.
He didn't show up because he had something to do?
Yeah, he like backed out like last minute or something. And I was like, that would have actually been crazy if he was actually there. That would have been crazy.
Yeah, and he would have went down in history for being a part of the Manson murders.
Yeah, that's tragic.
And Michael Jackson hits would have never got made.
Yeah, like it's crazy how stuff works out. Like, I wonder if he got like a feeling. You know what I'm saying? Because I've gotten feelings. My intuition. Before something bad happens. Sometimes I listen. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I ignore the feeling, but then I was like I just get like a gut feeling, and then later on something happens. I'm like, oh, that's why I had that feeling, because of the bad thing that that was going to happen. It's now happening. So I wonder if something like that happened to him. Like he had a feeling he shouldn't go. I don't know.
I wonder if he spoke on that ever.
Yeah, I don't know.
Probably not.
Maybe. Probably so. That's probably why people know about it. Is because he probably said he was supposed to be there tonight but backed out. So that's why people know that he's supposed to be there. So maybe he said it somewhere. Yeah, that's crazy. We need to wrap up. Do you have a bone to pick this week?
No, I don't have a bone to pick this week actually. So.
All right. We're working through things. Being a little less perturbed with life. So. I do have a bone to pick, and it's work related, and especially in like corporate America, and emails, email culture in corporate America. Why do people type entire emails into the subject line of an email? Like entire sentences. Yes, certain people. It's a thing to certain people who obviously I don't know how to use email properly. But yes, certain people will send an empty email, but will actually put what they want, their full sentences, in the subject line. What are you doing? What are you doing with your life?
You're talking about like lawyers and stuff, right?
No, I don't think I've seen a lawyer do that. No, but I communicate with other people other than lawyers. So
right, but like, what's the group of people that you're talking about? Like,
I can't say.
Are those a group of people that should know better?
I think anybody above the age of 25 should know better. Yeah,
but even people, below the age of 25 should know that.
Like I don't like it's so annoying because I really rarely pay attention to most of the to the entire subject line. I just see the first few words. I click on the email and then I read the body of the email. But when I click on the email and then it's empty, and I'm like, why did they send me an empty email? And then I look at the subject and the entire request is typed in the subject line. Like, what is happening? Why? If you're one of those people that do that, stop. You're the problem. So. Okay? It's diabolical. Stop it.
So. Yeah. And before you type, it says subject.
Well, yeah.
And has like everything.
Yeah. Subject means a summarization of what's going to be in the email line. You know what I'm saying? Just a few words. Not entire sentences.
That's a yike. That really is. Grown people.
So, also, nothing with email really quickly, then we're going to go.
Okay.
The spelling of my name. I loathe someone misspelling my name in an email, especially when the email address has the correct spelling of my name. When you type in my name to send it to me as an email address, the correct spelling is in the email. Also,
I be typing like Rikita.
Yeah, or just Rakita, or just
It's Ray.
Yeah, whatever it is. I don't care how slight the misspelling is. Absolutely not. I always double check and triple check the spelling of somebody's name before I send the email. I look at how they spelled it in their email address. I look at their their signature block, because sometimes they like to prefer to be called something else other than what's their actual government first name. You know what I'm saying? And that is usually in their signature block. So I'll call them that instead. You know what I'm saying? It's called being considerate. This has happened several times where I have emailed someone first. So that means not only do you have my email address with my name spelled, you also have my signature block with the correct spelling of my name. And then you reply to my email and misspell my name.
Because they saw, like, when they got the email, they saw like your name and your last name when like the email popped up and everything. So there's really like no excuse.
There's zero excuse. And you know what I started doing?
What?
This is the petty side of me. If that happens, I'll respond to their email and purposely misspell their name. I don't care if their name is Joe. It's going to get misspelled.
How would you misspell Joe?
Instead of J-O-E, I'd just be J-O. Or
you should put G. You should put G-O-E. That would be insane. G-O-E? You should do that.
Because of what is going on. Anyway, this is my minor perturbances that happen at work. So yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, that's it for me. What about for you? Any last words?
No last words.
All right. Well, we'll see y'all in the next one. All right.
The snack that smiles back.
Peace. Because what?
So you always change your hair. Have you been working with her since you had long hair? Because maybe
Yes.
that's what. Well, then maybe that's what you cut your hair. But it's not like a consistent. Like you don't get it done like every week.
Right. But since I had braids, she saw me with the braids. She was like, "Oh my God, I didn't know that was you. You're always changing your hair." I literally never changed my hair besides cutting it. After I've cut it, which was 2 years ago.
Right.
After I cut it, I literally wear my hair the same every day. So it's like white people they don't compute. Like they don't see your face. Like they're like, "Oh, I didn't even recognize that was you." You can't see my face? You don't know what my face looks like? You recognize me by my hair? Like I don't get it.
It's because they're racist. That's why. They only care about unkept and unmanaged ghetto hair.